Eternal, you ready for today's deal? Oh, I mean deal. Today's deal.
Well, might be time to come home. Hope everybody's doing good. This is gonna be a little bit podcast. This is CS with DWP. Basically, did my work for the day. Worked on a couple marketing materials for my business. Things is going good and whatnot. But I'm just looking at all these games. I'm looking at Diablo 4. I'm looking at Genshin Impact. I'm looking at uh, what is it? Just what is it called? Tower of Fantasy, Wayfinder, Black Desert, Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I'm just looking at all these games and I'm just like, there's not really any good games that are out right now. You know what I mean? What's going on, Saint? Yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's any like good games that are right now. It's gonna be a little bit I don't want to say deep of a podcast. It's gonna be a podcast. It's just gonna be me talking just to be talking. I'm gonna go back to my old Warframe days, back when I used to podcast on Warframe. It's clearly not gonna be as toxic, because back then I was super turnt, but I had a lot of stuff on my mind over the last couple of days, and a lot of it had to do with gaming and YouTube and the push and pull of content creation and the enjoyment of doing something every now and again. And I'm thinking about what I built and where it's going and DWP and all these things. And for what it's worth, I kind of abandoned where it came from, and that is Warframe. You know, um, we took a huge hit on Warframe a long time ago, and I just kind of abandoned it. You know what I mean? And then I started moving outwards, and then I got mad at Warframe, and then I left, and then I just never came back. And then things kind of changed a little bit here and there and whatnot. But I mean, I guess whatever. Anyway, so we did a lot. Like we have actually accomplished a lot, and I'm talking about in Warframe, and I never really thought about it until tonight. Um, like in our personal lives, in professional lives, games are getting stale, or rather, we got used to the video game formula. Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a form. Yeah, it's like a formula now. I'm gonna do a mission here in a minute, but it's just gonna be a regular kind of mission. But for the most part, you know, the gaming industry doesn't feel like games anymore. They feel like, I mean, they've always been products, but they feel more so like products. And I feel like they prey deeply on the psychology of folks. And for me to be aware that sometimes I feel alone, and I would talk to my homies that don't really play video games and they see it, but I feel like sometimes I'm alone in the gaming sphere. You know what I mean? When I'm speaking amongst like gamers, it's like they're oblivious or in denial about what's going on. But it takes talking to somebody outside of gaming for them. It's the most obvious thing ever, where the industry literally is preying on gaming addiction and insecurity. It's preying on depression. It preys on a lot of these psychological, markers that all day grinders tend to have. You know what I mean? And it gives a little bit of frustration in my heart for me to be able to see it, and I want to talk about it like so bad and bring it to the surface to start the conversation in gaming, but but I feel like there's so much pushback and denial a lot of times, because people are comfortable or content or whatnot where they are. So the intention is obviously not to step on anybody's toes. You know what I mean? but it's to bring gaming back to what it was back in the past and back to when a game was a game, rather than a job or a hustle. And from what I've done in Warframe, like I really took on a role in Warframe, which is why it is what it is. And I always got to give credit where credit is due. And I say this constantly, like so constant that it should be written in everybody's head. But this guy right here, you know, if it was not for this guy, I wouldn't even have attempted to build the clan or make it into a brand, let alone, right? Um, but we had a conversation that day, and I told him, "Hey, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it as kind of like running a business, except in this case, we're not getting paid, right?" And it grew, and all of that, and we're doing pretty good. I think we're the second biggest, which isn't that big, to be honest with you, but we're like the second biggest in the alliance, next to the owners of the alliance. You know what I'm saying? So, and I have not been here, which is kind of crazy, so the amount of power that I know that we have is like it's not anything to be. Here's the thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm proud of what we are in Warframe and what we are as a group, right? But I never really wanted it to go outside of gaming, really. And I think as of late, it has been, and I don't mind it going outside of gaming, but when I start to face the facts of gaming today, that's where it gets kind of like, it gets kind of nostalgic. So, at least Warframe does, because as a, it's not an egregious game, but they're not opaque, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They're very transparent. Like they will try to sell you anything and everything, but at the same time, every single thing in this game is free, right? The weakest weapons cost like money. Like this is, let me see if I could just find something. What's going on, Faye? Like this right here is not a great, it's probably a great weapon, but it's not like a great weapon, right? 225 platinum, but 225 platinum is not like a little bit of money. I mean, I guess it is, but it's not, especially when you consider that there are hundreds of weapons in this game. So I think I might be coming back home to Warframe, maybe. Like here's just the primary weapons, secondary weapons, melee weapons. There's some pets, there's some companions, vehicles, art guns. Like there's a lot of items. And here's just the Warframes, right? These are the characters you can play as, I guess. So there's a lot in this game. And this is where it started. And like I was saying earlier, shout out to you, Faith, what's going on? Like I was saying earlier, is Fiorina's kit dropped. I'll theory craft it a little bit later, but yeah, this is where it started. This is where Dawn Precision started. And the reason why I even started doing YouTube was to help people, right? Initially, it was to make videos for clan members. So if they had questions, then they could just hit the YouTube, and it would be more like an in-house YouTube channel, right? And then people started subscribing, who played Warframe and whatnot. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm the face of the channel, I guess. It wasn't even meant for me, it was meant for leadership, like if I go in here, because there was like 10 or 20 of us at that time, and then VPs, and I don't know if there's anybody on or off right now, but yeah, see, there's just a bunch of random people in here right now. I used to do promotions like once a week. I haven't done promotions. Like I just literally got on Warframe because Faith, I'm looking through my game catalog and there's like no games, and all the games are just not gamer related. They're all very casual or cinematic, and it's like there's no games. Like there's no games. They're either casual, predatory, or cinematic, right? And it's not. I'm not trying to be depressive. I'm just trying to be enlightening, like to kind of peel it back, peel the layer back, and say, hey, this might be what it actually is nowadays as far as gaming is concerned. So, I had a thought tonight, like while I was working on my marketing materials, I got off and then I started, I was done. Or I've taken a break for the most part because I think I did a pretty good job with a template, a material design that I'm gonna base all my other materials off of, and I hop on Diablo 4 and I start streaming to Twitch, right? And all I could think of is how Diablo 4 just took the biggest L ever, and that's how everybody's talking. Even though it's crazy because I could check my stocks right now and the stocks are fine, so it's not like Diablo's like losing money. So I don't really understand what everybody's talking about, but there's this narrative that keeps happening, and the amount of influence that like it's like the numbers carry weight, but it's like the numbers don't really dictate much anymore. It's like a couple, I kid you not, there's like 4 or 5 content creators for Diablo, and because they left magically, it's like the worst game on planet Earth. And it's not great. I mean, on Steam at least, it's not great. Um, and as of late, it hasn't been as populated, but there's a reason for that. And I already know the reason, and all the creators of Diablo, like including myself, like we all talked about it already. And that was that they announced season two, and season two had so many updates that everybody's just waiting for season two. So I never understood why retro gamers play these older games since they are so outdated, but I now do. Well, if you've ever played games back in my day, I mean, there is a clear difference between games today and games back then. The replayability of a game back then was just different. It what for the most part, the bugs did kind of make the game. But the games did come out as finished products. Um, it might be a bug here and there, but that added like a sense of personality or character to the game. For example, the Street Fighter handcuff glitch, with Guile, or the one up trick with in Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, on the first level, I mean, there's a bunch of other ones. Like there's a glitch in Super Metroid where you can well, it's not really a glitch, but it's more of a trick. You could run and then you could get like sprint speed in ball form, which is not supposed to not be possible. You can like clip through walls and whatnot, like you know what I mean, like little stuff like that. Like that used to be fun, but those kind of aspects, I feel like I can understand why they're taking that out, but then it's kind of two parts, right? So it's fine for the bug. Let's say in Genshin, there was a bug where you can get free primo gems, right? Well, because that's a source of money, they'll never let that fly. Now, let's say, for example, the game was offline and there's a way to get free gold, the game would be infinitely better, right? Infinitely better. You know what I mean? But because the game is online, you could ban accounts, this, that, and the third. So they ultimately have control over the way that you experience the game. Now, I can understand because it's free, but I mean, it's a weird economy in Genshin specifically because you literally don't own anything at all in Genshin at all. Like you don't. Like you own the Primo gems, but then all you do is you give the Primo gems back to the company, right? For a chance. You're basically buying a ticket. You're not buying the character, you're buying a ticket. So if the servers go down, you don't that's it. And it's not bad, but it's it is what it is. I think watching gaming change so drastic over a few decades is what makes us appreciate older games. I love new games, but I always come back to N64 games. You know, I was gonna buy like tonight. I was actually gonna buy um, Final Fantasy X and 10-2. I was gonna buy it and stream it tonight. It was only $12 for both of them, and I'm like, I miss these games. I'm getting to the point where I hate modern games, and I'm just glad that Warframe is one of the last of the Mohicans. Like Warframe came out right as PS4 came out, basically. So it was at the tail end of, in my opinion, true gaming. Because gaming nowadays, the way it's all built, what's going on, Capricorn? The way gaming is built nowadays is all built around commerce, you know, and like I said, it pulls and pokes at the psychology of the consumer rather than the dopamine, I guess. You know, it digs way deeper into the psychology of the consumer, which is dangerous, in my opinion, for humanity, in my personal opinion. Um, but I mean, it's not humanity. Well, I'm gonna say humanity only because there's so many people that play games that it'll put people into a specific mind state. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's dangerous, but we'll see what happens. We don't see leaks. We have dreams. Also, with a random time to stream. Well, I went to go play. Okay. So Burger, I was doing some work and then I got off and I was gonna stream Diablo 4, and I was like, it doesn't get traction as a content creator, right? And I'm like, well, what else gets traction? I know for a fact I'm gonna hate Baldur's Gate because I can't stand Baldur's Gate. I cannot stress how much I don't like turn-based combat outside of Final Fantasy. I cannot stress how much I dislike turn-based combat unless it's a Square game. If it's not Square Enix, I can't do it, bro. I really can't. And Baldur's Gate, I'm good, bro. I'm only, and I thought about this too, and I'm being completely honest. Now I don't have. Now here's another thing. I don't have to be honest, but I'd rather be honest and transparent about how I actually feel instead of faking the funk and lying to y'all about what's really on my mind. And I'm telling you right now, Burger, the only reason I'm gonna play Honkai is because it's popular. So yes, I'm selling out for views by playing Honkai, which is sad, bro, because it's like I don't want to care about YouTube. And I was thinking about that. Like I care about the community, but not content creation, right? Now my business pays me a lot of money, right? YouTube doesn't pay me anything. And if anything, I just give it back to the community anyway. So why am I doing it? And it's not like I'm able to give a whole lot back to the community as it stands because we lost, investments, based on some things, and it had nothing to do with my little blow up because we lost them before then, you know. And there was, yeah, and things changed, but yeah, it's something I had to ask myself tonight. You know what I mean? Corporate greed knows no bounds, sadly. Well, I mean that's corporate greed. I mean that's just corporate. Business is business. You know what I'm saying? And business will just always be business. There's nothing you can do about that. You know. But there was a few things going through my head tonight. Like what's it mean to be good at a game? You know. That's probably you, Burger. But it's like, what does it mean to be good at a game nowadays, right? And this is something that I've thought about even coming from World of Warcraft and seeing games like RuneScape and EverQuest and so on and so forth. And it's like, to be good at a game, it's like there's two different games. There's games where you hit buttons and then there's games where you build. And then they kind of meet somewhere in the middle sometimes, right? But all this is going through my head as I'm thinking about Warframe and every other game that I play, right? So you could have a dope build in Warframe, but you can get one shot by everything in there. So you got to have the build and you got to play it right, or you die in one hit. like I can show you, you can die in like one hit unless you build right and play right, right? And then there's just this is definitely a casual game though. This is not a I'm good at the game type of game. You don't have to be good at Warframe to win necessarily, right? But then if you want to play like Skullgirls, you got to be good at the game. If you want to play Street Fight, if you want to play a fighting game, you have to be good at the game. If you want to play a sports game, you have to be good at the game, right? And like even Call of Duty and first-person shooters like that, like Valorant and whatnot, like you have to be good at these games for the most part, right? In all of them. Like for example, in Street Fighter 6, there's Ken and JP, and the community's calling for a nerf because the characters are kind of overpowered, I guess. I haven't played Street Fighter 6 myself, but the amount of skill that that game takes versus Black Desert Online PvP is night and day because you can't gear Guile in Street Fighter. You can't get constellations for Chun-Li and just go beat the game and kill M. Bison because you got C2. You can't do that in fighting games. You have to just hold that L until you get better at the game. And that's how games used to be back in the day. Like, Cuphead, if anybody's here has played Cuphead, I always did wonder how Yalan could possibly have competition for Best Hydro, but Fiorina proved me wrong. Probably one of the most team-oriented characters I've seen. I mean, I don't know. Right? But it's just, I don't know. But I might be coming back home to Warframe. I'll still be covering Genshin because that's where the community is. But I think all in all, where my heart's at is the heart of Dome and Precision, and that's Warframe. Right? There are so many players in Warframe active at any given time that there's not one person that I can't talk to. This is just the trade chat, by the way. So when it comes to helping people, there's no one to help, but there's a million people to compete against for some reason in Genshin. In Genshin. And I don't understand where that competition vibe is coming from. But I've been feeling it for a while. Whereas in Warframe, once again, this is just the trade chat. I have general chat turned off. This is just recruitment chat. This is just the help chat. And I can go in here and just answer questions, which I've done quite a few times. You could just go in here and just start answering questions. How do I get Nidus parts? Oh, you got to go do the thing up in the infested place. Or whatever. They're super rare. But I'm sure they have a new method or something like that. I don't know. I got to get back into Warframe. Right? But I forgot how invested into each other the Warframe community is. Everyone's so invested in each other, they had to introduce a Q&A chat. That's how invested we are together. Right? It's such a co-op game. I miss that. I do miss that. You know, instead of constantly... Something's weird. Something weird is going on in the game sphere. I can't put my thumb on it, man, but I'm going to figure it out. Now, I mean, that's gaming, right? As far as DWP is concerned, like, yeah, I still want to turn it into a business. I still wanted to turn it, not a business, but a non-profit. I can easily just go apply for a 501(c) and just start asking people for money. That's not the issue with Dome or Precision. The issue is, the issue with Dome or Precision is trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Is it Dupe? No, I think it's Dwap, but that's okay. It's always rare to see you on Warframe. Yeah, it is rare. Well, it wasn't rare before, right? But, I mean, I guess there's so much new Warframe content And it's not about the content, bro. You know what I mean, Cap? It's not about the content, bro. It's about where is home at least for me, in the game, in the world of gaming. This thought actually went through my head, Cap. I should probably quit gaming, or at least take a break from gaming as a whole, because it's so, there's something going on with it, and I'm not really sure what it is. But the last maybe 4 experiences I had with Genshin were so almost egotistical and almost like prideful. There was so much pride involved in it, and it felt like misplaced pride that, to me, being completely honest, was kind of disgusting, bro. It was kind of disgusting and disturbing. And it's like, I can't fool with that, bro. I cannot sit here and look at Genshin and be like taking pride in something that's literally not mine. That artifact is not mine. I can't take pride in that. And to see people uphold themselves as though they're a trophy because of some artifact set that they literally didn't even work for. None of us worked for them. We just sat there in class until they handed us a good artifact. That's what we did. And it's like, it's misplaced, bro. It's super misplaced pride. And it's like, I can't fool with that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's nieces, nephews, family, this, that, and the third. And if I'm out here bragging about artifacts on Genshin, when they go and play Genshin, they're going to be like, oh, well, I got this super thing and rolled dice. Next thing you know, they're gambling. It's like, nah, bro. Nah. You know, unless you're lucky, then stop playing Genshin and hit the casino, cuz. You know what I mean? If it's like that, you taking pride in the wrong thing. Go hit the casino, get some bread, and go feed your family or something. You could brag about that. You know what I'm saying? So it just, something felt off. It felt off, and it's like, I don't care how good my account gets. I don't care. I could C6 this and C2 that and C5 and R5. I could do all the things, and it's just, there's something wrong with that game. Something there that's just like, I'm not feeling it. There's something there in Genshin that I'm not feeling. I could go in and try to make the most based account possible, and it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with that, because I know the minute that I pull an account up, if it's a based account, there's going to be a lot of pride in that account. Next thing you know, I'm taking pride in my account, and I didn't even work for anything. I just did commissions every day and burnt resin, and then I have an account. I organized and I said this a year and a half ago, Saint. I don't know if you was here, right? I was like, Genshin is really just a game of inventory management. That's all it is. If you can beat inventory management, you can beat Genshin. Keep this, get rid of that. Invest in this, don't invest in this. That's all Genshin is, bro. And if you do that correctly, you'll just have a great account. And then discipline, I guess. So do the thing every day. Get rid of this artifact, keep this artifact. And then over time you have chances, blah, blah, blah. By this time you should have the thing. And then you just do the thing, and now you got a good account. And then if you want a character on a banner, you just skip one and you guarantee the character, basically. So the code has been cracked for Genshin, right? And I could preach it all day, and I'm happy that people are happy, but something about it feels wrong on a human level. And at that point, I don't know if I can keep supporting that game, cuz I'm not going to bring up thieves, okay? Because I don't want people going back and trying to, Cypher's talking about you. Like, no, there are thieves, though, everywhere, right? Here's the difference, right? So, in Warframe, right? It's kind of hard to steal a build when you can literally give a build away. I can just give this build to my clan. There you go. And they could just pull it up, and they could just apply the mod. They could apply the whole build to their character. So I can just give the build to anybody, right? Another thing is, oh, okay, well, this person's weak or strong or blah, 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 blah. Okay, guess what? Well, I can go grab this mod and just give this prime mod to you. Oh, you don't have this mod? Here you go. Here's prime heater charge. Right? So I can literally build people's accounts for them. So I can literally help people get off the game. And that's what I used to do. And I miss doing that. to people's accounts, right? And it's like we've had cases where people were going to college, right? We've had cases where people were trying to become doctors, cases where people were getting married, people had found new jobs and they needed something, so I could literally go do the content and bring the thing back to them. You know what I mean? And cool, right? And as far as copying, the game is so half and half that I could literally hand you my build, and unless you're me, you can't play that build. You're gonna have to adjust something somewhere. You're gonna have to. You're either gonna die or not gonna do enough DPS. Something's got to change. Capricorn will tell you, right? Um, Sometimes it could work, right? But it depends on the person, right? And then as far as the rest of the content in the game is concerned, you know, I mean, there's so much of it out at this point. Like when I had first started making the content for this game, and I kid you not, there's like 30 different ways to do every minute piece of content in this game. There's like 30 different ways to kill an Eidolon, right? There's probably 5 fastest ways, but there's so many weapons and so many warframes and so many melees and so many mods, and so there's so many ways to kill an Eidolon or anything in this game that you can literally put a video up and say fastest, and it probably is, to a bubble of people. This is the fastest. It probably is. You know, the fastest way to unlock this. It probably is. You know, for streamers, there's not really a case of streaming in this game. You just kind of play the game. You can either play it or sit there. It's up to you. You know. Hold on, let me read this. Sorry about that. I feel like Genshin tried to have a good co-op experience but failed since they didn't plan anything after hitting around 45. I could speak on that here in a minute. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Genshin. The main story faded into the background and it all became about artifacts and constellations. Well, for me, it became a rat race, right? And it became a rat race that you have no control over. You can't control your place in the rat race. You just kind of are in this rat race, and RNG determines where you're at in this rat race. And that's what started becoming a little odd to me about the community's receptivity to growth in Genshin Impact is you don't determine where you go in Genshin Impact. The game decides for you, right? Remember Miko? She was farming the Blizzard domain for 5 months and never seen a dual stat goblet. I've been farming this game every day. I've been farming Genshin. I farmed Genshin artifacts just about every day, whether it was emblem or not. Just about every day during the Sumeru patch, and I still haven't seen one dual stat Dendro goblet. Right? So it's it's hard for me to acknowledge a race when it should not be a race, and I'm trying to tell people it's not a race. But when there is this energy of there being a race floating around in the air, when I speak on the fact that there is no race, then all of a sudden a race pops up, and it's like, well, what's going on? I thought there wasn't a race. I thought we weren't racing to the end. But I guess we're racing to the end. You know, so that's Genshin, right? So literally, I'm not unhappy playing the game. Let me make sure I'm not confusing anyone. I'm not unhappy playing the game, but I see the game for what it is. And I'm just getting this thoughts off my head. No one has to listen. No one even has to be here to listen. It's literally just a podcast. I'm just putting my thoughts on paper. That's all I'm doing. I would have did it on Twitch, but it wouldn't have been documented. Right? So I'd rather document it on here. And I'm not trashing Genshin. Because I see, and think about it. Why do I feel like I need to prime what I'm saying? Why do I need to explain what I'm saying? Right? I shouldn't have to explain that I'm not trashing the game, especially if all I'm doing is calling it for what I see. It may not be fact, but that's what it looks like to me. If I see blood on the wall, I'm gonna say, hey, that's probably blood on the wall. If it says draw a triangle, I'm gonna say, hey, it says draw a triangle on the wall. And if somebody says nope, it says Cheetos taste like animal fat. No, it doesn't. It says triangle. Yeah, it says something different. No, it says I see it. You know, but I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. I don't know whose feelings I would hurt, honestly, but I feel like somebody might be offended by me saying that, hey, even I don't feel like I truly earned everything, and I don't feel like I truly earned everything in Genshin. It feels good getting it, but I don't feel like I really earned it like that. You know what I mean? I didn't go through the toughest battles and the uphill climb and getting good and doing the things to get the thing in Genshin Impact. And I think that's what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that, like in Armored Core. Like Armored Core gave that to me. You know what I mean? Well, the game is literally PvE. Well, Warframe is PvE. You know, I just play the game and have fun and put meta aside, and doing so, I never experienced any rat race burnout. Yeah, but I'm a content creator, right? And I'm trying to coach, right? And I think Capricorn, I think that's where, now I'm talking in-house, this is in-house talk right now. Capricorn, I think that's where I dropped the ball. Where I dropped the ball, Capricorn, is I became a content creator. That's what happened. I should have just kept it on family and in-house, but instead, I got bit by content creation. And then, it turned into something else. And sure enough, if you go out strong and lift weights, somebody gonna be next to you like, huh, well, I can do all the weights too. And it's like, bro, I'm not even here for that. I'm trying to teach homie how to hit weights. Oh, no, well, my weights, I don't care about your weights, bro. I'm just trying to teach my clan about this right here. Well, it's like, all right, bro, right? And I felt like I ended up in those interactions a couple times, but a lot in Genshin, like a lot. And I'm not talking about anybody specific, right? This has happened since I started streaming Genshin, right? Remember I was saying, I think it was the last stream where when I like way in the beginning of streaming Genshin, I was like, I feel a wave coming. I felt the wave coming because a couple people came in already talking that swag. This is that, and blah blah blah. Why are you playing Ning Wong? Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's like, all right, bro. Well, I guess this is one of them games where people think that there's a meta to dominoes, which there probably is, but it's dominoes. You know, I guess you could say there's a meta to everything technically, including sitting in a chair. But I don't know. So yeah. And to be completely transparent, I was looking for some people who can start to become the face of content creation. Not that I'm getting burnt out on content creation. It's just that I'm getting burnt out on those interactions, right? And if there's somebody else who's okay with those interactions, well, I got those interactions, then take it. Because I've never had that many conversations. See, because in Warframe, you could shut that down, right? You could shut that down super easy. But in Genshin, you don't have any control over it because in Genshin, everything has to be given to you by MiHoYo. So you can't control any of that. So if somebody's just has a better account, they just have a better account. It's just as simple as that. You could work 2-3 years. You could work 2-3. There was a game's been out since 2020, so you could work 3 years, like just on artifacts for the most part, and somebody who's been playing 6 months can have a better account than you. You might have more characters, but they'll have better artifacts and whatnot. I'm not subject to that, but I've seen accounts that were subject to that. And I try to coach the best. I try to coach the best I can to work around that system to try and find people the best success. But in the grand scheme of things, like the narrative that I do try to push is that like the end all be all is not your Genshin account. It's really not. You don't need that. If you're gonna min max something, min max your bank account. You know what I mean? Min max the way you pay bills. Min max your outgoing and incoming, financial situation. Min max your education. Min max the way you learn. Min max your emotions, I guess. Like min max that. You know what I'm saying? Work on that. Like that's the end all be all. Because Genshin is finite. It'll only be here as long as, like, I don't know. It might be here for 10 years, but because Warframe's been here for 10 years, right? But it's only going to be here for so long. You know what I mean? I think it has to do with the kind of people Genshin attracted. Only a few games have amassed that kind of vibe, like Yu-Gi-Oh, etc., etc. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I can't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a gambling thing or something. But I was really thinking. I was thinking about a lot tonight. Like, maybe I should get out of gaming and just get into podcasting. You know what I mean? Because because what I'm good at, like where my heart lies is like I love gaming. I'm always gonna love gaming. I'm never gonna stop playing video games. It is an addiction, to be quite frank about it. But where my heart actually lies is music and graphics. That's where my heart has been my entire life. My passion, like the first thing I did when I was like, I've always been music and art, right? Music and art, music, art, music, art, music, art. Period. Like, am I the best at both? No, not at all, right? But my clients like my work. They approve my work. They're happy with my work, and as far as music, people have been happy with the music I've been making, for them and the quality I've been sending back to them when I engineer and whatnot, so that's kind of where my heart's at. But I don't know if I even like a lot of that. I can't even broadcast. I would, but I can't because if I broadcast me working, I'm doxing a company or a client, and then if I broadcast me mixing or engineering a song, I'm leaking music, so I can't really put either one out there. So the only thing I can put out there is a video game or a podcast, but if I put a podcast out, then it's like, okay, well, I don't even know what the receptivity of that would be. And I mean, I don't mind talking about the psychology of games, because I'll be the first one to throw myself under the bus, and then I'll throw everybody else under the bus right after that. But I'm going under first. That way, don't nobody feel like I'm picking on them. But I'm finna speak that real, and I'm finna tear myself apart. And everybody, maybe if you're gonna tune in, you better come in with some thick skin, because I'm about to chop Psyche up. I'm chopping up Psych, and we're gonna dig deep and figure out what's going on, right? And if you look at society as a whole, their mental illness has been pushed kind of to the forefront, and that's fine. That's great. That's good, actually. Let me read this comment. You can do a mix of Leafy and Joe Rogan type content, play games, podcasts, maybe interview viewers about stuff will be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to interview viewers, right? I don't have a problem with that. I might even do that. Interview viewers. Even if they try to troll, because we're gonna get trolls. But then I could just keep it G, keep it gangster, and be like, "Ah, you playing?" Boop. Like, you remember Kevin Samuels? He'd be like, "Oh, you playing?" Click. Instant. Just instant. Nope. You ain't finna be up in here disrespecting like that. And that's the thing. It's like, well, let me finish this thought. So mental illness has been pushed kind of to the forefront of society, which is a good thing, right? Um, and this is just my personal opinion, right? But I feel like there's two components, there's two factors that kind of started to lead to this misrepresentation of mental illness, right? One, you had a lot of kids and adults um, misdiagnosing themselves, and two, you had a lot of agenda-driven people misdiagnosing people on purpose, right? And between those two, they say the loudest bird gets the worm, right? The squeakiest wheel gets the oil. Blah 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 blah. Well, now we're here, right? And depression is real, but depression can, in some cases, be at least this is what it feels like to me, is because I have depression, but my depression was caused by um, like a almost an instant life change because I went from here to here like overnight, and that caused the depression, right? Um, I forgot what they call it, but that's mine. You know what I mean? But then I guess there is a depression that's physiological, where you're just born with a imbalance. Like that one, I'm not talking about that one, right? But for the most part, with the misdiagnosis and all that, it's almost like this victim mentality. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because some of the communities that I have worked with, no, I'm not talking about the LGBT community. No, I'm not talking about the black community. No, I'm not talking about the Asian community. No, I'm not talking about the white community. I'm not talking about any specific community because I can't call out a community because that would be weird, right? But there have been communities that I am very much so aware of in certain areas, not everywhere. It's in certain areas that these multiple communities are fighting for who is the biggest victim, right? Um, and the thing is, and I'll never forget, somebody told me this, with victimhood comes power. And the more you become, the more of a victim you are perceived to be, the more leverage you have in making a case with little to no grounds, for the most part. For example, if I say, hey, short person, such and such and such and such, I can't have you work at this gym because you need to be able to reach blah, 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 blah. They can say discrimination. They're being victimized. That's fine. That's just an example, though, right? Now, if you take it from being short to being black, or you take it from being short to being disabled, or short to being part of the LGBT community, right? Now it's truly discrimination. Here's the thing, though. We're not people aren't asking anybody in minority or majority groups to be tall enough to grab something. They're just saying, I need you to do paperwork and you're not qualified for it. And what they're doing is they're shifting the blame from not being qualified, not having a degree, getting in arguments or fights with their coworkers, not getting along with their peers, or getting at the manager crazy. They're crediting all of it to being either a certain skin color, whether white or black or Asian, Mexican, Indian, anything, right? Or being part of a particular group, whether that's LGBT or cisgender, right? But everybody in this particular region seems to want to be disabled. And when you look at that and you start looking at places like TikTok or social media or any of those type of places, and remember there was this big fad about being sad, and the being sad thing allows kids and adults to say you don't understand, even if the person understands completely, right? Somebody could come to my channel right now and say, I want to do the self-harm thing, and I want to leave, and it hurts so bad, and blah, 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 and life's unfair, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Not knowing that not only am I a black 39-year-old man with lupus, and I'm a suicide survivor. So I do understand, but I come from a relatively bad city, right? So put all that together, I'm pretty sure I do understand, but I'm not going to play that card because that's not what you do. That's not how that works. You're not supposed to play that card. That's not how that works. You're supposed to actually understand, right? And then if I'm looking for some kind of pity, there's something wrong with me, right? If I'm looking for some kind of empathy, not empathy, but sympathy, something wrong with me. But that's not the perception nowadays. You know, everybody has to be a victim. Now, let's take this last situation. I was telling somebody, I'm like, look, this happened, and if I get perceived as such and such and such and such, I'm just gonna take it on the chin. You gotta boop and keep it pushing. I'm not tripping on that. You know what I mean? But I don't know what's going on anywhere else. Hopefully nobody else is playing victim, because really at the end of the day, nobody's a victim. You know what I mean? But I just feel like the victim mentality person really kind of gravitated towards Genshin, and maybe that might be what it is. That's basically what I'm saying as a whole, is maybe that might be what happened. And if so, cool. Those are the people I want to get a hold of and build their confidence up, if they allow me to. You know what I mean? People who are, you know, why we live, I was going to sleep. Yeah, go to sleep. No, the reason why I'm live is I had some things on my mind, right? And, you know, I was talking to Saint about Genshin, right? And my perception and my experience with Genshin. You know, I made some comments in the last stream. It's not cap. You know, I've never really been known for capping. You know, and my word usually is bond. You could usually take what I say to the bank, unless I'm really sitting there in a think tank scenario and really trying to sort it out. But if it's like, hey, this is what it is, like that's usually what it is. Because I don't usually just say stuff unless that's what it actually looks like. You know what I'm saying? And what Genshin looks like. This is why. So Ari, this is why I say what I say about people's accounts in Genshin. Why I'm okay with accounts being quote unquote trash or quote unquote godlike, and why I perceive both accounts. This is why I don't give people a hard time. It's because people don't because in Genshin Impact, and I'm saying this from the perspective of someone with a relatively great account, to have a quote unquote great account, I can say that I didn't earn anything in Genshin. I can say that. I didn't assign values to my account. I didn't build a skill tree on each character. I just picked what the game gave me and put it on characters. Zhongli set, I farmed forever. I was in Pale Flame for the longest time, and I didn't settle on the build until right at the end of the farm. And right at the end of the farm is when it gave me the build in like a week. So his triple HP high crit rate build, I got in a week. I got it in a week. In one day, I got Toma's EM set. Now with Ayaka's build, it's been a year and a half just trying to finish her. Yai Miko I slapped together like in a couple of weeks. Right? She was done in a couple of weeks. Right? So it's like it's either the game's going to give it to you or it's not. So if I see anything on the game, right? Some people have sack swords, some people don't. Some people have Favonius swords, some people don't. Some people have Favonius lances, some people don't. Right? So I don't give people a hard time for using, for example, the Star Glitter, the energy recharge polearm. I'm not going to give them a hard time about that because they may not have a Favonius lance, let alone with refinements. Right? We have to work with what the game gives you. So if somebody hands you a mystery box from Amazon, how you gonna make money out of that? That's what I'm effectively trying to do when I look at an account. Now, it'll get to the point where they just don't have options. You just got to get this, this, and this. But I'm basing that input based on their try-hard gene. It depends on the vibe I get from them in the chat. And if they give me this try-hard, combative Reddit gene, then I'm going to give them the actual hard build. You actually need 3 to 4 stats on each artifact because your you're on some competitive energy, and I don't know if I want to partake in future conversations with you like that because you're doing try hard energy. You're shooting the lotto too much. You're playing an unwinnable lottery, right? When you could take that energy and go play the real lottery. But the risk is so high, you don't want to play the lottery, but you rather play the lottery on Genshin Impact. So you're okay winning in Genshin Impact, but you're not okay winning the real lottery. But your luck is so great. So if your luck is so great, why don't you go play the lottery? Oh, it's different. Got it. Right. So looking at it from that perspective, it's like be about it. It's kind of where my energy starts to go. And from the last big experience that I had with Genshin Impact, that's kind of where my energy has been. That's why I pulled back so much in the last stream, where it's like I don't really care about performance almost at all. I just don't want to die. I don't want to stop playing the game. I don't need to be the best. I just don't want to die doing something in the game at this point, right? Because you don't work for anything in the game, right? Now with Warframe, the game is still RNG, but you do have some say over what you get in the game. You have a lot of say of what you get in the game, and there is a lot of variation in Warframe to the point where not by any means of RNG at all, with maybe the exception of Rivens, maybe, right? Everything in Warframe is a static number. Everything. Except Rivens. It's the only thing that's not a static number. There are no two players that I've ever seen that have the exact same build. Not once. And I've played this game forever, right? So if the build diversity is that thick, by no way of RNG, that's the game that I want to play as far as building. But Genshin Impact, I can't do that. And Diablo 4 got caught under fire for a similar situation, actually. Even though it has a drastically larger build diversity than Genshin Impact, there's still only 2 builds roughly per class, right? How many builds are there for Zhongli? There's 40 characters in Genshin Impact. How many builds are there for Zhongli? Sleep is for the weak, you crazy. Right? There's like 2 builds. And then we got to get creative and get funky with it. Oh, you should put Scoop said this. Put the skill build on Zhongli. Yeah, I saw that coming, but I'll give you credit for that because you said it first. So, yes. Right? And then, what else was it? There is the skill build for Fischl. The skill build for Yai Miko. Right? And then with Yai Miko, you got two-piece, Thunder and Fury, and the skill build. Right? You got Troop and Shimenawa for Yanfei. You have Troop and Blizzard for Ganyu. There's like 2 builds per character. Right? And then there's makeshift builds where we just have to piece together like the effect of a 4-set build. Right? Like for example, if you have Kugi Shinobu, right, and you don't want to try and get to 230, was it 50 plus 80? You don't want to try and get to 230 depending on the team that you're running. Well, then you could rock a two-piece, get at least the 160, and then you could, get 70 EM across the flower and a feather, and boom, you got your 4-piece set. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you gotta, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta Frankenstein the build together, but it's still the same build. It's the same build, Even Quick Bloom, like Quick Bloom Shogun, especially after they released that new Battle Pass weapon, it's the same thing as just rocking a triple EM build with a bunch of crit rate as a substats. Same exact thing. Instead of hitting EM on your flower and your feather, you just hit a bunch of crit rate on all the pieces. The same way the Zhongli is, right? You just do that crit rate across all the pieces and you got the same Shogun that I have when I use that other one, Played it when it first came out, but my account got banned, so I stopped. I just got back into it. I was wondering, what would you say is best to do for a low MR? I'm only at 1. Well, first things first, enjoy the game. And the minute you get to something called the Jackal, fight that thing over and over and over again until you get a frame called Rhino. Rhino is going to carry you through the entirety of the game, right? And then you could kind of build them as however you want to build them. You could build him with a bunch of strength, which is typically what people do, you know, because his armor. So you just put a bunch of strength or a bunch of armor on him, and then you're good. You know, but you could build Rhino kind of however you want to build him. But as long as you get Rhino, you could beat at least the first part of Warframe. You know, so yeah. You got the Rhino blueprint, but right now you got Saren. Saren's really good too. Saren is really good. With Saren, uh, I mean, shoot, with her, you probably don't even need nothing but survivability mods and range mods, really. You know, but just have fun. The best thing I can explain is just have fun. If you just started the game, have fun. You could rush through it, you know, because it's going to take you 6 months to get to in-game anyway. And in-game in Warframe, believe it or not, is fashion frame. In-game is when you have nothing to do in Warframe. That's in-game. And it'll take you, well, more than 6 months to get to that point. Unless you buy everything with money, you know, or platinum or something. Which you spend money to get that. But, yeah. Unless you literally buy everything, which will cost you thousands and thousands. If you whale this game, you'll get all of the things, but you still have to build and level everything up. One sec, y'all. All right, cool. Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's that. Let me talk about life a little bit. Unless you got more Warframe questions, I mean, I'm down to help you out. You know, if you got any questions or, you know, because I haven't been back here in I don't know how long. You know, so let me see. Let me grab Wispa. Yeah, let me grab Wisp. I haven't played her in a minute. Yeah, we'll figure this out. Okay, so hold on one sec. All right, cool. I'm here. Um, yeah. So let me talk about life, I guess. So life is actually, like I said, it actually has been really good. You know, got some projects done. Not projects, but well, I guess you can call it projects. It was multiple line items. I don't even know if I call it line items. There were multiple items I had to take care of for a client today. Got those taken care of, and then um, I'm just glad the homie's doing really good. A lot of this stuff that I talk about, I can't talk about because either private, personal, or classified. I guess we'll say. You know, what in the world is this? Oh, this is the Dark Soulsy thing. Yeah, I don't know about that. Dog days? Nah. Nope. Is there nothing to do? I guess we'll do arbitration. I haven't done one of those in a minute. And it's a survival. Infestation. Oh, it's infestation? Alright, hold on. I got 2 minutes to start it. Yeah, let's do this. We will be... I guess I technically could be Wisp. But I'm going to be... I'm going to be Loki. I like Loki. Where's Loki? That's the Explorer Orb Stealth. Come on. Yeah. Let's go do Loki things. Why? Because I'm a ninja. And everybody likes ninjas. No. Solo. That's what we do. I could play with people, but I might not be the host, and I don't feel like dealing with loading. Or chasing stuff around. Yeah. Invite you? Are you on? I'm assuming you're on, so I'll check. You are on. Uh-oh.
Distract the infected.
I have a comb. Ooh, snap. I'm not supposed to have a comb. I'm trying. Where's my Bremer? Here we go. Haha. Moving as fast as I can, sir. Please start. Woo! Whew. Wait, that's still... Wait, what? 2 minutes still? Oh, well, okay. No rush. Alright, so... Life. So what's new? Well, I have a client. Their fiscal sponsor lost all the money. I can say that it was in the hundreds of thousands. I can't say how much, but their sponsor lost 800,000. I just said the number. Anyway, they lost $800,000. Right. So now they are looking for a new fiscal sponsor. I don't know if Shadow wants to join either. He can if he wants. Matter of fact, all these guys can join if they want. I don't know if they want to. I don't know. It's up to them. Do I even? Oh, I got Jen. Okay. But yeah, man. So they are looking for more money, and I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see, I guess. You know, but if they get a lot of money, then they're not going to have a problem paying for my services at all. And it's funny because I don't actually charge a lot. I charge a lot per hour. But because I work so fast, they actually end up not really paying that much.
The infested are releasing toxic spores into the area. The emergency life
you know what I mean? Ooh, is that Sevagoth? Okay. Okay, I see you, cuz. Yeah. Long time no see, Warframe. It's been so long.
Hey, dreamers. We are up and ready to party.
So how many people here have actually played Warframe? Because there's not really much to talk about with life now I think about it. Like, life is just life. You know, nothing crazy is going to happen now I think about it for like 30 minutes anyway, so we can kind of just hang out, I guess. There you go, you fight that. Oh, actually. Hey, Vitus.
Support incoming.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn this audio down because it's distracting me from thinking. Okay. So yeah. So what is love? What is life? I believe that, you know, people should strive to work as hard as they can, as diligently as they can, and as honestly as they can. Don't cut corners. Don't take shortcuts. You know, don't lie. Don't get weird, you know. No, you didn't miss a stream. It's just a random, I'm just randomly streaming. Because I had something on my mind. And usually I stream on Twitch when it's random. But I wanted to kind of capture my thoughts. And then what I'll do is I'll just go back and review them for the most part. You know, so I don't know, but be smart. And it wasn't until I started talking to someone is when I realized how much I don't know.
Get ready for a capsule.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot. I know a ton, but I didn't realize there was so much I don't know. Like it was almost embarrassing how much I didn't know. But the stuff it's weird because the stuff I don't know is stuff that it's like I didn't even think about it. Like you could like what's the difference between like two different types of pools? I can't tell you that.
Life support has arrived.
I didn't know there was a different type of pool, but I guess there's different types of pools. You know what I mean? Like weird stuff like that. There's different types of, you know, coffee or something. And I know there's different types of coffee, but like there's different ways to ground the coffee and they have different names or something. It's like it's weird. Anyway, Nasberry, you take it easy. Always a pleasure to see you, by the way. Wait, what's up there? Oh. By the way, for anybody watching, if you're watching for Warframe, there's going to be little to no action for like the first hour. There's going to be a whole lot of nothing for like an hour. Just to give you a heads up. And then by the time stuff starts to happen, we're probably just going to be in like one room anyway. But that's how Warframe works. So what are we doing? See that thing right there?
Life support activated.
We got to hit that in hopes to get this thing called a Vitus Essence. And Vitus Essence is a currency in the game that you use to buy all types of crazy stuff. And we used to be, well, I used to be, well, kind of all of us. We used to be in here for hours. And it got to the point where we were in here for so long that we just had to stop because it'd be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Just it's got to the point where it's like, why are we even in here? Like just in here, just to be in here. You know, so. And then we start optimizing the farm, and oh, if you stand in this corner and just shoot right there, you just collect Vitus and stuff like that. And then they came out with this stuff called Steel Essence, and
Raid is off to a successful
you know.
start.
Wait, where's Capricorn?
Extraction is available if you need it.
You know. But anyway, I would just like to have a big impact on people's lives. I don't know how I'm gonna do it effectively. You know, wherever I can help, I would like to help. You know, but something I've been kind of wondering is like, you know what I was talking to somebody about? I actually do want to do a scholarship giveaway. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I would love to do it. You know, if I could one day be like, oh, here's $500. Here's a scholarship or something like that. I don't know how I would do it, but I would love to. And here is Vitus Essence, sir. You might need that. Hit that with a melee. Right, but I think that'd be cool. And I wonder if especially once I become a 501c or 501c3, my bad. I wonder if they'll be cool like donating money for the scholarship. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, we got such and such and such and such, and this kid, you know, did such and such and such and such, you know, and then I could submit that maybe to like, you know, I don't know if investor is the word I'm looking for, but let me do this so I can attract some monsters. Wait, what? You dot? Oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Hang on, Cap. I got you. Alright, hold on. I gotta put it right there. Because I gotta attract all the bad guys. They gotta all come here. Come here. Come hither. So what happens in this mode is if you die for one reason or another, then you have to pick up that little shiny thing I just picked up. Right? And in order to do that, hold on. You have no idea what's going on? That's fine. I am an invisible ninja that they can't see, and I'm just literally killing whatever I want right now. That is all Warframe is. Now imagine this. You remember how I was like, yeah, we've done this 6-hour survivals and blah, blah, blah. You see how I could stand next to them? Watch this. So this is the bragging rights to survivals. See how I could just go invisible again and they don't swing? So I am such a good player that I did this for 6 hours. Right? And that's what I was trying to explain, yes, to Kinkle. Was like, literally doing long survivals is not a bragging right. It's really just a test of patience, because that's literally all it is. If you know, strategize it. If you go in here guns blazing, yeah, you're going to have a time. I need to pick up the Vitus things so Capricorn can wake back up. And this is why I took Loki. So there's a trick in this game. If you're invisible, right, you literally disable the enemy's ability to attack just by being disabled. Like they literally, in the most literal sense, cannot actually attack. They can't shoot, they can't do anything. So you just be invisible. Dude, where is the Vitus Essence? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dude, where is the Vitus at? Want to see a Kamehameha? Watch this. Kamehameha! Kinda. Dude, am I tripping? Oh, there's one. How many of those do I have? Oh, there's a bunch of them. Right? No? Is that one? Yeah. There we go. 3, 4, 5. You only need 5, right? Yeah.
Spore saturation is nearing critical mass.
Oh, I should probably do that.
Support will save you. We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can. Life support has been replenished.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy is the one thing that I did miss about this game. Oh, God, I miss building in this game. I miss optimizing. That's kind of what I really miss. Because that's all I do for work is just optimize. Wait, what? Where the heck is Capricorn? Oh. Like, imagine if you just got paid, Burger, to look at somebody's finances. I don't look at their finances, I look at their business, or their organization. But imagine if you looked at somebody's finances and you got paid to tell them, like, the best options for, like, moving their money and where they're invested and whatnot. You would not literally invest their money, but you could be like, hey, maybe you should pay for this, or maybe you should pay for that, or maybe you should not be spending money on this or that, or whatever. You know, or, hey, maybe you should not be spending money on this, and maybe you should do these flyers because the take rate is like this or something. You know what I mean? But you would actually get paid for that. And you wouldn't get paid like a little bit, you would get paid a lot. Like a lot. you know, for every hour if you're talking to them, you can make like $70 an hour or 140 an hour or something like that. You know, to put that in perspective, somebody who works at a cell phone company who owns a house, they make about $200 a day, roughly. You would make like 140 an hour. Just to kind of put that in. Oh, you died again. Okay. That's why I got Loki, man. You know what? Wukong might have been pretty good here. The only thing with I might die. Yeah, Wukong might have been good here. But yeah, the only thing about
The spores have almost completely saturated the atmosphere.
I'm trying to think of I'm thinking two things at the same time. Clearly I'm terrible at multitasking. Bro, where are the little things at? Okay, there's one. Oh, there's another one. Thank you. It's because I need the little flying things. I need to put them somewhere safe, though. Yeah, let's put them right here. So imagine this bow that I'm shooting. Every time I shoot it, it's like a Tartaglia burst. Every time.
Spore saturation is nearing.
Oh, hold on.
After that point, no amount of life support will save you.
Have I seen the kick gun? Is that what you're asking? No, I haven't seen the kick gun yet. Oh wait, there's another one out here. What the heck are they doing right there? Give me that. Where's the counter for that thing?
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this.
I don't know where the thing is. Hey, you're gonna die. You should probably not just be standing there. You should not just stand there. You're going to... Okay. Give me one sec. Uh-oh. Come on. I'm just trying to see if I can get him to wake up or something. No. What are y'all doing in here? You made two of them? Hold on. When you res, you're gonna immediately start getting poisoned, so just be careful when you res this time. Uh-oh. Now I know they got some wacky kick guns now. Like they have some from if you're talking about Duviri Paradox, then I gotta see. Uh-oh. Did I grab it? Oh no. There we go. Yeah! Loki for the win. This dude is so cheap. You know what's crazy? There's another frame called Ash that everybody plays. And the only reason I play Loki, literally, is because he's utility. It's because of that right there. Which is weird, because for some reason they're not going to that thing. Oh, he is. Why are they so slow? Huh. Oh. Alright, so there's a weapon called a Nucor. Which... It's like Nahida, I guess. Right, so think Nahida, but a gun. So you just shoot. I have my, like, colors turned down, so it doesn't just wreck, or whatever. It doesn't wreck your visuals. But I can literally shoot this thing in the face, and anything that goes in range of... Uh-oh. Hold up, cuz. Do I have 5? Oh, I got 5. Oh, I see it. Okay. Alright, please don't die. There we go. So how long we been? Oh, 18 minutes, that's it? I'm gonna die. Alright, you gotta be where, you gotta be careful of that poison. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna try... I wish I had Frost. Because Loki's whole defensive strategy is being invisible. That's like his whole thing. That and... Uh-oh. That and setting up a decoy. So if I do that... More like... Okay, not that. That. Spin to win! Come here. Okay, before I even go into that... So I need to... I guess I should show... I guess I can show the mechanics of this. Of this map. Yeah, so this thing... So look. So if I attack these guys, nothing happens, right? You can't even do damage to them. Until you break that thing. But the thing is so tiny. Look. They went out of range of it. Right? So if I shoot this thing, shoot these guys with a... Let me see. Let me shoot these guys. If I shoot this thing with a Nucor, nothing happens until I break that little flying thing. And that's what makes this mode really difficult as time goes on. Because there's only a handful of them showing up right now. Right? But then about an hour in, there'll be a bunch of them. Like... There'll be 3 or 4 of the flying things and like 30 enemies at any given time. Which is nice. Which is really nice. And that's what we want. We want a lot of enemies. You might want to fall back. I am next to Capricorn. Which means they are... Yep, there goes the stuff on the ground. Alright, so... I don't know what weapon he's using, but there are all types of things that these guys can shoot, and range, and AoEs, and bugs, and damage over time, and electricity, and they literally hit with every... Okay, so if you look at the top of my screen, you'll see all these buffs, right? Now, if I get hit by something... Let me see, let me try to get hit. Ooh. See how I went to 2 See how I died? You gotta be super careful. We're probably gonna... Well, it's up to you, Cap. You gotta kill the, whatever that thing is. I shouldn't have sat there, but that's okay. This is kind of random. Yeah, you gotta kill the little pink thing. I know, it's hard to see. Nope, nope. You gotta kill the pink thing. The pink thing with the lines. Yeah, I know. We haven't played this in forever. The pink thing, the flying thing with the lines coming out of it. Nah. Okay, he'll get it. He'll figure it out. Yeah, so I don't know where he's going. Oh, you're leaving. Oh, you're leaving. Okay. Yes, you can. Yes, you might want to leave. Unless you got an invisible friend. You have no energy. Yeah, you definitely want to leave. Yeah, you do not want to be in there with no energy because you will get smacked. Yeah, because there's an infested ancient disruptor. There's an ancient disruptor. The ancient disruptor is so strong. That's probably what killed me. The ancient disruptor is so strong. It'll throw out a tentacle and it'll one shot through every single defense that you have. There is not one defense that you have that will survive it. You either have to be completely invincible, like like Rhino could survive it, but it drains your energy and everything. So quick thinking doesn't work. There's not one deep. Let me put it this way: Valkyr can't survive it, right? And what that means, I think I'll show this to some folks. Is it cool if we go to some Millicrum? Because I'm just feeling kind of coachy right now. I guess we ain't got a coach. I guess I don't got to do all that right now. What's the next one? Oh, Corpus? Oh, yeah. Let's do Corpus. Alright, we're going to get super dumb. Super duper, big duper dumb. Oh, I got to get Hildren Prime, because there's a Prime out now. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Is that cool if I get Hildren real quick? Capricorn? Okay, yeah, because I'm going to be in the, I'm going to be in the dojo here in a second. Okay. And then I'll farm her and sell her later or something. And this is what I need. I need this character, but the better one. Not that I, like, need it, but I want it. There we go. 80? Psh, what? Invite. What you mean? 80? That's it? Unless somebody got a cheaper price. That'll be hilarious. Alright, so we're gonna see what a trade looks like. Want to sell. That's not what you say. You're supposed to say a price. You say what now? And then because I farmed platinum, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna give him 80 platinum, which is the currency. So he is going to make 80 platinum. And we have all the Hildren parts. And boom. 60? Up, already bought it. I mean, I guess I could buy another one. 60? Sure. Oh, bless me? Oh, no, bless you, cuz. See? Bless you, too. See? 60? You want Hildren? Nah, he don't use Hildren. Okay. Well, I'll do that later. Okay. Let's go do something, I guess. Anybody got any random questions for me, by the way? Because if not, I'm just gonna go on one of my little wacky tangents again. I might talk about a whole lot of nothing, I might not. I want to do Steel Path, actually. Let's do Steel Path. Not the Void. Why do hippos sweat pink? Because they ate too much flamingo blood. What's up, Shadow? How you doing? How art thou? I'm looking for a wacky. You know what? Let's get Vitus Essence. Why not? Might as well. Yeah, let's just do that. Offer. Already bought. I'll tell him in a second. Alright, this is just in case you want to join, Shadow. You don't have to. You can if you want to. It's a corpus survival arbitrations. Already bought. Do the hippos siphon flamingo blood through their teeth, or do they stick a straw in their vein? Well, surprisingly, they do it the cartoony way, and that's stick it in their veins and suck it through a straw. It's kind of hilarious.
They have just shut down all systems.
And they hum sweet tunes while they're doing it. That's the funny part. Roar! Let's do wacky roar things. Now this character is so busted. Yay! What I just did literally does nothing, by the way. You just float. It does things, but it doesn't do anything. I'll show you what it does. It lifts people in the air and does a little damage to them while you're doing that, but it doesn't do enough damage to be worth it, so it doesn't matter. Come on. Ah. Still it, no. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I feel like Faith would love this game. Oh, what am I doing? And if Faith played this game, I swear on everything, you would main Wisp, and I know it for a fact. I know for a fact you would main Wisp. The one with the witch hat that I had when I kind of first got on, or first started to stream. Why do I know that? Because every single person in this game mains Wisp. Not really, but a lot of... I'll put it this way. All the cool kids play Wisp. Like, all the really cool people. And I mean that. The cool people, like, if you're cool... Like, if you play Wisp, you're cool. Especially if you, like, one-trick Wisp. Like, that's all you play. Like, you're probably a really cool person. Like, Frost players keep to themselves. I'm a Frost player. Revenants are usually really, really young. Like, really young. Like, Revenants are young. Like 14. And then, yeah, Hildrens are just... There's not really a Hildren. There's one. Hildrens are either really old or just really kind of out there. And there's a Hildren main in Dome of Precision, actually. It is... I'm gonna die if I do that. You said what? Ivara main? Yeah, Ivara mains are Ivara mains. Ivara mains are hunters. Like, they only play bow characters in all the games. Yeah, Hildren is literally the bane of the corpus. I could just walk around and do... Matter of fact, I could just walk around and do this with Capricorn and he could just... He'll kill everything. Especially if I restart this with Roar. Now I got a snapshot on it. I'm just gonna walk around and do this.
Additional life support has arrived.
This is why... This right here is why I picked Hildren for the corpus. She doesn't care about anything. You got stuck? Oh yeah, it's the map. That's why. Because DE swore this map was the best thing ever, and it's not. They're like, this is the best map update ever, and it's like, nah, it's really not, but whatever. Did I get it? Oh. This character is stupid. Like, This character is stupid. It's not my bit. See, and that's what I love about. That's what I miss about Warframe. You don't really hear people saying my Hildren is busted. You hear people saying Hildren is busted. I love that. I miss that. And Hildren is busted. Hildren is super dumb. Clearly, I've been impacted by something. We'll figure out what that is. You got a catch? You finally got the catch move? Boy, you super late to the. Do you know how strong that thing is? Boy, that catch moon is a nightmare. We probably should have did the index. Nah, think about it. You want to do the index after this? We'll stay for 5 minutes and then we'll go do the index. Is that cool? Because the index is like, I don't know, I like the index.
Our operative is making progress. This
I haven't done the index in like a minute. Oh, you died again? Cap, what's going on? See, Sevagoth is not helping, bro. But it's the corpus though. Uh-oh. Catch that to the face. Oh. Get away from my friend. Oh. Alright, so what am I doing? Because you guys don't actually see anything going on. You just hear a Terminator sound, right? Like, right? So, they have these bars over their heads, right? See that blue bar? That blue bar disappears when I do that ability, basically. So, right? So, it's not, I can't say it's unique to her because there's another character that can do it named Mag. But Hildren is the only one who can force it. Right? So, and then it just disappears. But then I do damage over time too. So, blue bar gone. Right? This one has armor. Oh, it's got that thing. What? That's called a nullifier. Alright, so fun little trivia thing. So that thing right there is called a nullifier. He is the cancer of this entire game. And what's up with him, he's clearly not going to happen. I keep forgetting I'm doing AoE damage over time just by standing here, but that guy, the nullifier, that dude, he shuts off your abilities just by being in the circle. That circle, you see how I shot him and it seemingly hit him, but yeah, that dude is I swear he is the cancer of this game. Not really hard to deal with, just because you can just do that with the. Okay, so the traveler of this game is something called the operator, right? And the operator is, well, clearly stupid strong. Like you can just pull out your little beam and knock off stuff. I used to do this. Before I got like the rest of my gear, I used to do it with the operator. And it worked pretty good. But now I just shoot a Brahma shot a couple of times and it typically clears everything. And why do I keep spinning? Because that's the fastest way to get around in this game. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, I haven't done this in a while. Let's go do something stupid.
Free stranded Solaris
Oh,
with the
please
Spectres.
don't
Strip
come
away the
and
Spectres.
we're
We
here.
don't have long.
Did it freeze time? Hopefully it did. It did. Okay. It did not. Oh, we are so not gonna beat this. Unless they drop some life support up. Well, life support's over. Mm-mm. What? Where'd it go? Stop moving! Stop! Stop moving! Stop moving!
We're disentangling, but our target hasn't been hit.
Alright, so we got two options. We can either be gangsters and stay because we gangster, or we can leave. It's up to you. The only thing is, I don't think they scale. Oh, you're dying. Never mind. Don't you got, what is it called? Magus Elevate? Don't you got Magus Elevate? Oh, wrong way.
May your desire blossom, thief, and with it, wisdom. Farewell.
Oh, did you want to stay? I mean, we could stay. I mean, I don't care. You know, one time I stayed in here for 1 hour after survival was done, and nothing happened. I don't remember if they scaled or not, though. I don't think they scale once it stops. I think they stop scaling. And I don't think it drops Vitus Essence anymore or anything. But you still get standard drops. You know, like credits and whatnot. Like all that stuff still drops, but you don't get anything else. So, for what it's worth, Hildren is actually who you don't take to that survival if you're gonna be there for ever. You can. Like, it's not a problem. It's just don't get caught up with a nullifier and you should be alright. Where am I? Hey. Yeah. Good times. Alright, let me go back to my ship. This is Warframe. Well, hmm. Hmm. I think I'm gonna chill for a little bit, Cap. I'm gonna chill for a sec. I don't want to hold you up or nothing. Or oh, you left. Okay. I'm gonna start building this real quick. What'd you say? Nay. What you talking about? What you talking about, brother? Man, yeah, I'm gonna chill for a sec. I'm gonna go have a cigarette and I'm gonna just kick it, man, because I feel like I'm gonna be up for a minute anyway. I don't know what they what. I just want to start building this real quick. Hildren chassis. What? Oh, I was finna say, like, what? Oh, I need argon crystals. All right, well, I'm gonna chill. I'll go get some argon crystals in a second. Who's this? Ice Bishop? God dang. Oh, index? Hey, I need to get argon crystals and we can hit the index, no problem, brother. Or we can just do the index before I get the argon crystals. Like, I ain't even tripping. Like, I just know, like, the two frames that I use all the time. All the time. Hildren. Yeah, Hildren and Wisp. Which is funny, because I don't even really use Wisp like that. It's just, I really, really like Wisp. Like, a lot. Like, I like Wisp a lot. Had nothing to do with her butt, bro. I know, she got cakes or whatever, but I really like Wisp. She's a really, really fun character. Funny enough, though, and you got the gram, bro. Hey, what's up with your Wukong and that Guandao though? This is who I really use. This is my cheese frame. This is when I don't feel like playing Warframe and I just feel like sitting here. This is who I play. When it's like, I don't feel like thinking. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't even want to try. I don't feel like having fun. I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm just grinding. Like, this is who I play. And then I sit there and I just hit buttons every like 30 seconds. Like 1 minute to 30 seconds. But that's Octavia. That's how Octavia works. Like, undisputed strongest Warframe in the game only because she has infinite scaling. Because her damage is based on how hard the enemy hits. So if the enemy hits for 1,000,000, she hits for 1,000,000. Plus a multiplier. So that's why she doesn't have a lot of ability strength. Because you don't need a lot of ability strength. You just need to spec stuff a certain way and set up her little metronome thing to tick every dot. And she'll hit 16 times per bar. Or like, what is it? I forgot how many times a second, but it's 120 beats per minute, which is 2 times per second, I guess. 120 beats. There's 16 beats in 1 bar, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the math behind it per second, but she hits a lot, and I really got a chance. To me, she got a real chance to shine when Deimos came out, because Deimos introduced like the tankiest armor heavy enemies that were infested, and it was like fighting high level Grineer, like Exo Grineer, with that can hit through shields, and it was a lot. And then I just got tired of trying to cheese everything, so I was like, I'm just gonna just use Octavia. Yeah. And she's a musician. But I'm gonna be using Rhino in the index. And I think I had this one really old video of how I do the index, because I don't think I'm great at the index like that anymore. Like, I used to be a tryhard in the index. It was kind of on accident though. I like to play fast. Um, and we would race a lot of times, but Rhino typically is the one carrying all the currency, right? And there was a way you can like stack currency and skip rounds and whatnot. And we used to do that. Like, I would stack 100, and then one person would turn in, what is it, 100, that'll win the round, and then I would just walk in the next round and it'll skip the round. I mean, it takes a while, but I don't know. I don't even know if I got it like that no more. We'll see. We shall see. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot about it because I was doing other things in the game. Oh, the Citron. Oh, you just built Citron. Is Citron even good? And if you're talking about the Gram Prime, yeah, that's Intro's weapon. Intro uses a Gram. That's like his baby, bro. All he does is walk around and one-shot everything with Valkyr and Inaros and a super overbuilt Gram. I feel like I owe him like 400 platinum too because he sold his Riven. I heard a message come through, but I cannot see the message. But yeah, it's been a long time, man. I wonder how many people still follow the channel for Warframe. Oh, does that work? I don't know if that worked. Hopefully I can see it in the stream. I can. Really often? Oh, she makes you red crit often? Really often? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I know she's like this crit character, but like, is she still path ready though? Like, does she die easy, or is she a shield gate character? Is she a armor character? Is she a heal character? Like, cause health doesn't matter in this game. It's still path. Like, still path is not health driven unless you play Wisp. It's yeah, it's either invulnerability or invincibility or invisibility or limbo. But he can shift dimensions. Like, he shifts like in and out of like rifts. Yeah. I used to love Limbo. Limbo was so cheap. Limbo is good for like really high level. Like really, really, really high level. Like, but like only the Grenier. Ash is like the best though. Because he's one of the very few that can actually kill everything at that high of a level. Unless you bring a new core. You can kill anything if you got a new core. You just hit it with a new core and then hit it with whatever weapon you got. Especially if your weapon is cracked. You just new core it and it'll drop in like seconds with a melee. You just pin and it'll just drop. Especially if you're playing Saren. Holy Jesus. I still think the best team in this game, and I might be wrong, but if there was a co-op team, I think Saren, Octavia, and Nidus are like the best team. And Rhino. Saren, Octavia, Nidus, and Rhino. I don't know if you could beat that team. By the way, here's something kind of random. Credit to All Blade on this. Do you know that you can make a Speed Nova Octavia? Octavia can act like Speed Nova. Super random. Alright, let's go do the index. It's funny because I don't even need ha ha ha. Got it. And Catch Moon, sir. This is where the Catch Moon shines, good sir. You could take corrosive or radiation. It's up to you. You take whatever you want. But the Catch Moon is amazing in here. God, I ain't played this game with y'all in, what, a year? It's been like a year that I've actually played with the squad. Like, Jesus Christ, it's been forever, bro. Is it Venus? No, it's Neptune. Yeah. Just spent 4 million. 4 million. I think is four. I think it's 5 rounds, right? Or something like that. Hold on. So 4 is a million. So that'd be 16 rounds. So it's up to y'all. Oh, more than that. So 5. So it'd be 20 rounds. It's up to y'all. If you wanted it all back, but you could probably just. I mean, it's up to you. I forgot where you can. I know the index is like one of the best credit farms, but there's another. Wait. It's Capricorn. Capricorn's coming, right? Hold on, let me close some of these. Hold on, I'm gonna close this temporarily. Don't need to get that much back. Okay. I see close all, but I'm not trying to close this one. Just saying. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't think Capricorn's coming. You still got 8? Okay. There's Cap. Alright, pick whoever you want, good sir. I'm taking Rhino. Rhino got a new skin, by the way. It looks kind of weird. I feel like, I swear on everything, I feel like Newts would love this skin, too. It is this one. Okay, maybe not Newts, but it looks kind of crazy. He turns into a Rhino Beetle. I feel like y'all would like Warframe. It's a long grind, though. It's not long if you join our clan. It's not long at all. Like, we can get you up and running in a week. But it's a long time if you... Yeah, it's a long time if you don't got a clan. I'm trying to remember where all the energy things are. There it goes. Ha ha ha. Let's go. How much armor do I got? 100? No. I don't know how much armor I got. Okay, well. Aha! I can see the enemies. I still got the mod on. Okay. A trapper? Okay. God dang it. I still can't shoot. I used to be so much better at this. Alright, where they at? What's going on, Rise? How you doing? Index point up for grabs. I feel like I should be over here. What is this? Warframe. This is where everything kind of started. I keep forgetting they're immune to Magus lockdown. And what happens is, because I'm Nerimon, right? If I get a 12, so there's a combo multiplier, right? And a combo multiplier literally is just, you see how it says 2x in the bottom right hand corner? If that turns into a 12, then pretty much everything I do almost becomes a one shot. But what I used to do is I used to just do that. Like I used to use the catch move. Right? Like that. Is it story gems or PvP? This is not really PvP. This is it's just an index. It's like an arena. You know, and if you know how to, you can't really cheese it, but if you know how to do it, it's really easy. But I use Rhino because I don't know. I don't know. I know too much cheese in this game. I think I've carried too much in this game. Because I got way too many carry builds. Like, everything I use is a carry. That's why I'm like low-key jealous of, like, Capricorn and Shadow. Because they just play what they want. Like, if it was up to me, I'd probably play Limbo or... Probably not Limbo. And what's the goal? So, there's this little green thing on the ground right here. And you grab it, and then it floats around you. And you need to get, like, so many of them. So that you can... Okay. So that you can, oh yeah, he's playing low. Oh, you're playing, you're doing that Vauban thing, the Vauban thing. Oh, he's literally cheesing. Look at this. This is cheese of the century, cuz. Yeah, this is something Shadow came up with like years ago. It's so cheap. Watch this. You see how he just gets snagged? Bruh, that is the cheapest thing ever. Like, are you for real? Oh my god. And we used to just, yeah, watch the red line. Exactly. You don't even gotta do anything. You just, it's like shooting dolls. And we would come in here, and I totally forgot about that, bro. But we used to come in here and just get money. You just come in and you get money. I don't know if that thing's dead. Right, and then after you get so many of them, right, I don't know how many I got, but you got to get 100 points. What's cold is this works like this strategy. I think it works all the way to the end of the index. Like, there is no cap on this strategy. Like, there is no highest level you can get to. So if you want to be in here for 300 rounds, you can. At least with this strat. Okay, I don't know how many things I got. Uh-oh, ran out of energy, huh? Am I stacking for the next index, the next one? I don't know how many I got. Wager, uh-oh. Are we doing that turn-in thing? Oh yeah, I got this thing too. It's the same thing, just an automatic shotgun version. Yeah. Nowhere near as strong though. Strong, but not as strong. How the heck did he die? Okay, am I turning these in or? And how many points do I have? How do I check? Oh, I have 53. Okay, am I stacking 100? Like, what's your? Oh, we got 30 something seconds left. Never mind. Sorry, I didn't know. By the way, what's up, Rise? How you doing, cuz? Sorry, I need to plug my phone in. Don't worry, we'll be okay. So Shadow has this super broken strategy that he uses. meaning that I could have literally brought anybody in here and it would not have mattered. I didn't know you were bringing this. Nothing new, swag. Me, you know, I had a little podcasty moment in the beginning, you know, but I think I got a lot of it off, you know, off my mind. Is he dead? Oh. You know, sometimes I'll have these random moments where it's like I need to get something off my chest or I got something on my mind or whatever. You know what I mean? So then I'll talk about it. What? What is that multiplier at the top? 13,656. What is that? Is that my armor? Yeah, I mean, we gotta do it sometimes, but you know, it's for me. It was mainly like, you know, I just want to be as transparent as I possibly can with everybody in my community, in this community. Let me stop calling it mine. You know, I keep saying it's my community, and it's not. It's our community. You know what I mean? It's just, you know. Did it? Oh, there it goes. A lot going on over there. What's going on over there? Hold on. Hold up. Huh. Hmm. So what we're doing literally is just cheesing the index. And I think I'm going to start going crazy here in a minute and just start doing my spin to win antics. I used to be so much of a tryhard in this game that half the time they wouldn't even make it to the side. I would just be killing them way over here. What is this person doing? They're gonna die, and I'm gonna laugh. Okay, I'm not gonna laugh, but I'm gonna... That's a computer, by the way. It's not actually a player. Hi. Are there points in the open? Of course there's points in the open. I have 33 armor, meaning that I'm gonna have to refresh it here in a little bit. Or 33% armor, I should say. Oh, it is my armor. That X thing at the top, I didn't know that's what that was. Okay, so I have 17 points. God, I gotta get back into this. By the way, with attack speed, this game is part of the reason how I learned about how strong attack speed was. Because you get to your combo multipliers faster, and if anything is based on the number of hits or based on proc chances, attack speed can take care of all of that. Like you can cover proc chance just off attack speed. They're going to die, that part, and they are. Luckily, we're just killing robots. They're dying. No. Sorry, sir. So this weapon is called the catch move. I called it the Oregon Nexus because it sounded cool. But the model or the name of the weapon is actually called the catch move. And this is what I was saying what's the name should bring, because bang, you can borderline one-shot everything in here. Up to a certain level, right? Up to it only goes for so many rounds. Ooh, I need this. Am I not losing? I'm not losing shield. Do robots feel pain? If it's programmed in, yes. If it's not programmed in, no. Does that answer your question? I should probably turn in these points, but I kind of want to get 100 points so we can skip around. But it's up to you guys. Nope, I'm not going to skip around. Or what a robot would feel? Well, a robot is going to feel whatever it's programmed to feel. Right? So, I don't mean to be so literal about it, but if you put a sensor on it, like a touch sensor, that's based on touch, the size of the touch, all that kind of stuff, and you program in, if it's this small of a touch, with this much, if it has this much impact, then, experience pain or respond as though you're in pain or something, or run the pain script or something. You know what I mean? So can they feel pain if it's programmed in? Yes. And I only know that because I used to program back in the day. Artificial or just a robot? What if I told you there's really no such thing as an artificial intelligence until it has the ability to learn? If it can learn, it has artificial intelligence. If it can't learn, then it's not artificial intelligence. It's just a program. Because part of intelligence is learning and problem solving. It's solving a problem based on the unknown. That's partially what intelligence is. And if something can do that, it's intelligent. I want my armor to go away. It won't go away. I could be wrong. I feel like I'm right, though. Many don't understand this. Well, I think it's just people don't like to think about it. There we go. Whoa! That's not good. Hold up. There we go. Well, I mean, think about it. If you walk up to somebody who's not worried about that, right, chances are they're going to be like, oh, man, that's not important. What's important is, something that's probably not as important. But it's not so much that knowing what intelligence is like super important. It's knowing how to think on the fly, really. You know what I mean? Not settling for being entertained by simple things, I guess. I like thinking that way. Like, being okay being an idiot is not okay to me. Being okay being oblivious to things is not okay to me. Unless it's like clearly by choice or something like that. Yeah, that was a mock-up. In the future, it would be important? Maybe. But... Bam! Ooh, that hurt. Okay, that thing I just killed is mad strong. And kinda cheese. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna pull a cheese strat. Hopefully I can get this in time. And hopefully they don't kill that robot. Because there's something over there that I want. And it's that field. God dang it. Haha! God dang it. I need that field to come back. Put it up. Yeah. Watch this. No! Man. If I stand in this while I'm hitting my armor, I'll end up with like 20,000 armor. And now I'm losing energy. Okay, well I got 10,000 armor. Okay. Hold on. What in the world? Oh, that's that shotgun from whatchamacallit. You said what? If artificial intelligence takes your place, what will you do? Acknowledge that it took my place? I mean, I can't really do anything about it. And if you're talking about AI, then, I mean, AI took my place. All I would do you know what I'm trying to do? What I'm actually trying to do, and I'm pretty sure everybody named Mama's trying to do this in the business world at this point. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a way to make AI work for me. Right? But I feel like AI is a tool, and like AI in itself isn't bad. It's bad people who have the potential to use AI that you got to be worried about. And I kid you not, when you get to know the variety of people that occupy this planet, everything I'm telling you right now will be way more clear. It's up to you guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, so I only have those points because I was Rhino. That has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, so with AI, I feel like AI is AI is good, right? Think about it like this. There's two different viewpoints of AI. So you walk in, you go to try and ask someone to help you out. They've been saying they're a good person for a year, right? And you're like helping them out. I'm just painting a scenario for you, right? So I'm not saying this happened to me. I'm just because it literally didn't. I'm just painting a scenario, right? So you're nice to this person. You buy them coffee. You're helping them out. They cry to you on the phone. Blah 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 blah. Everything is great. You're like, okay, cool. They're like, ask me if you ever need anything. This person is a professional writer. You're like, oh man, okay, well check this out. I'm trying to come up with a cover letter so I can go apply for a loan, but I don't know how to write. I don't do professional writing. I don't know, how to do this. Well, then they say, okay, well get back to me in a week. Right? So then you get back, yeah, hey, knock it out. So then they say, I'll get back to you in a week. Right? So then, just so I don't hold you up. Right? So then a week passes by, still nothing. A month passes by, still nothing. About 3 months passes by, and it's like, dude, you gonna do this cover letter? Because I really need to get this thing going. And they're like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. They're a professional writer. You know what you can do? You can go to AI, ChatGPT specifically, and just say, hey, write me a cover letter, and it'll write you a cover letter. So that's one example of AI that's amazing. Or you can hire somebody for about $280 to write you a cover letter. That's up to you, right? Or if you're like, hey, I'm having trouble with this piece of programming and I don't know where the issue is, you could throw it into ChatGPT and say, hey, where's the... No, ChatGPT it runs off AI. You know what I mean? So you can go into ChatGPT, like I use ChatGPT. I can ask ChatGPT a question, like, how do you work? And it'll tell me, oh, I work like this. And I learn over time. I gather information from the internet because it can't come from anywhere else, right? And it'll learn over time. Now, there's different AIs, right? There's sound AI. There's amalgamated AIs where you'll have like text, voice, and visual, stuff like that. And like you can ask AI, regardless of Chat GPT or not, you can ask AI pretty much anything and it'll spit it at you. There's a Hu Tao rap that I posted in a Discord a while back. Chat GPT wrote that. And I could show you the Chat GPT like interaction. Like I said, write a rap as a character, write a rap as a person named Hu Tao, as a woman named Hu Tao. killing hilichurls in the land of Tevat, and it wrote a whole rap. And it was talking about fire and pyro, and it didn't say pyro, but it was talking about burning stuff with flames, and like it knew who Hu-Tao was. So, and like if you read it, it sounds like when you read it, it sounds like a rap. I kid you not. That's like Rise. When I'm saying I'm looking for a female rapper, she doesn't even have to write the rap or be good at rapping. She just has to be able to stay on beat. I have the beat and the lyrics ready. I just need a female voice now. At this point, like all the work is done, you just got to read off a piece of paper and sound animated. Now, if that can't seem to happen, I'll rap it, and then I'll use AI to change my voice into a female, and then we'll have a Hu-Tao rap, if that's what it takes. But that's what I'm saying. That's what AI is good for. I can't find a female rapper, so I could just make a female rapper. You know what I mean? I can't find somebody to write a rap, and I don't feel like writing a rap, so I'll just write a rap. He doesn't know how to write poetry. I'll read the rap to you. I feel like you actually are not really taking this serious. It actually wrote a rap. Now, I write like rap. I write battle rap. You know what I mean? But it wrote like a rap. Like a rap. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, cool. So now I just need somebody to read the rap. It's not like the best, right? But, you know, if Taylor Swift rapped it, it would sell millions. Like it's a super functioning rap song. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. The beat slap but that's AI, right? So if AI replaced me, then I would just find a place where I could replace AI. Like AI can't get up and move around and walk and whatnot. Now a robot can, probably with AI. But at that point, oh, okay, well, I just need my own robot at that point. So AI, build me a robot, or how do I do it? And then I'll just do whatever it says, and then I'll build a robot, and then I'll send a robot out to do all the things. I mean, if that's what it takes. I mean, it's just you have to find your own place in the world, right? Now, this is where we get into the philosophical questions about like, okay, well, what is love? Is it a construct? Blah, blah, blah. Let me back up for a sec. First things first, I feel like I should clarify this before going into it. There are a lot of human things that are not constructs, but people like to make them constructs because it's easy for them to be cold and explain it to themselves, right? What do you mean by movement? No, what I mean by movement is like AI is software, not hardware. So AI in itself can't physically do things. It's not you can't touch AI. It's not like it's not an apple or a bowl, stuff like that, but whatever AI can't do, there's still something that humans can do. Like make babies or whatever. I'm pretty sure there's some funny jokes, but all that's going to be controlled by the government. So you still have free speech and free thinking, blah, 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 blah. Right now, until that explodes, you still there's still a human element there that is probably never really going to be cracked, because how long has the study of the mind and psychology been a thing, right? I mean, we could look it up, I mean, I guess I could look it up now, right? I mean, somebody could just Google it. I don't know how long it's been. You can't touch me. Yes, that kind of is true. Yeah. So, for how long psychology's been out, we can't figure out how we work. We don't know as a species what makes us special. You know what I mean? We can have a robot replicate what we do, but it'll never be a human. Like there's something about humans that are just human. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind the whole AI movement. What I'm more concerned about is a weirdo getting good at it. That's my only concern. That's always only been my only concern with anything that comes out on this planet is weirdos. Weirdos worry me. They don't scare me, they worry me though. They are the living embodiment of cancer to the human species. A weirdo would be the person to take an AI and make it shoot bullets at houses just to see if they can spell their name in the side of their friend's house with real bullets. That's a weirdo. A weirdo would also see if they could recreate anthrax and put it into a pill form as a gag. That's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, a weirdo is the only person I'm really worried about. Practical jokers. But practical jokers on a level where it's not even funny, but they have a hard time telling where the line is drawn, those are weirdos, right? People who joke about anime panties, but they go too far with it, those are weirdos. And those are the people that I'm worried about getting a hold of AI. You know what I mean? So I don't mind AI. AI is fine. It's weirdos getting their hands on it is what I'm more worried about. It's the same. You saw what happened with money, right? Weirdos got a hold of money. So if I'm not mistaken, long time ago, somebody had an onion and somebody had a banana, and they said, "I'll exchange this for this," and they said, "Okay." And then Wells Fargo or Wells came up with this thing called an IOU. Boom, you have a bank. And now all of a sudden there's this weird amalgamation of just a whole bunch of math problems that exist for the sake of hiding what they're actually trying to do. Because of why? Greed, hosted by a weirdo. So now we're here. Now, if you take AI and you give that same product to that same weirdo that came up with the IOU and the way that they came up with it, because the IOU was good, everything about it was good, but a weirdo got into the mix, and now we're in a deficit. And we might be in the green, but then we're in the red. And then you got loans, and now you got house rent and value and this, that, and now you got school loans, and then you got bailouts and blah blah blah. Now you got monetization and gotcha games, and it's being marketed to children and billions of dollars, but people out here homeless and blah 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 blah. You go down the money train, you go down the money rabbit hole, right? A weirdo, right? That's just the difference between people. I'm not trying to say one's right or one's bad. It's just a weirdo, like eccentric, like somebody got their hands on it and used it for personal gain to an extreme level, right? And it's to an extreme at the like disregarding the well-being of the fellow man. Like the person who's willing to hit a goal with complete disregard for humanity, that's the person that I'm worried about. I'm not worried about because everybody has a heart, but that person doesn't, and it's that person that I'm worried about. You know what I mean? Artificial intelligence can make any girl blah 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 blah. It can draw a picture. That's what it does. It draws a picture. It just knows how to put pixels together. You know what I mean? Based on certain inputs. It actually doesn't know what's that and what's not. It just knows when you say this word, this is usually the picture that pops up. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. You take a weirdo, and the first thing they're going to do, Beyonce, right? This person, right? This person, this person, that's a weirdo. Because that's what I'm worried about. Right? That's the same person who'll be like, such and such's mom, proof. That's a weirdo. See, yo man, such and such, boom. That's the weirdo. You know what I mean? At the detriment of the next person because they have an agenda they're trying to achieve. And they will do it at the detriment of their fellow man. Like disregarding the well-being of their fellow man. That's the person I'm worried about. But who does that? No one does that except the weirdo. That's why I call people weirdos. That's why I get on people who come across as weirdos as hard as I get on them. They shouldn't be comfortable around me. If they're comfortable around me, I'm doing something wrong. They can be a weirdo, just don't be a weirdo around me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and it's fine. Be you. But whatever that is, keep that over there though. You know what I'm saying? Whatever all of that is, keep that on that side of the tracks though. I ain't got no time for whatever that is. You know what I mean? What's going on, Waddles? How you doing, cuz? You know, so yeah, as they should, as I should, yeah. I mean, it's just it's like it, there's comedy, like there's a place for comedy. Like leave comedy in comedy. And I'm a huge advocate for comedy. I don't care how bright or dark the comedy is, but comedy should stay where comedy is. Not all things are comedic. You know what I mean? Like homelessness on Skid Row is not funny. You can use it in a comedy setting, but use it in a comedy setting, cuz in a conversation where comedy is present, where the context of what's being exchanged between two people is comedic. But if you're being super serious about something, and you're really like let's say you're at a TED talk, or let's say you're at like a convention, or you're in a room with a president or your manager, or you're talking to like your grandparents and they're being super serious, or you're really trying to educate your kid about something, or you know what I mean? Like lead a comedy, like there's a time to be funny and there's a time to be serious. You feel me? I got jokes, but it's like sometimes you just got to be serious about some things. Sometimes you got to take things serious. You feel me? You know, so going back to the AI thing, when it comes to AI, you know, I don't feel like it's much of a problem. And talking about Elon Musk for a sec, because he was like, we should take a break. Part of that, the first thing that came to my head when because I had this conversation with someone as well, but the first thing that came to my head when I first heard him say it was like, you a troll. That's why you saying stop it, because you getting some sick thoughts, bro. You got sick stuff going on in your head as to what you would use AI for, and you probably used AI for some of that sick stuff. And now you like, hey man, maybe we should stop, because somebody gonna get the bright idea and be like, AI, how do I kill humanity with a robot? And next thing you know, AI is gonna be like, this is how you. What would be the benefit of eradicating the blah 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 AI? And now AI got his thing going, right? Somebody gonna do that and be like, we should really entertain this idea because I want to see the movie Terminator in real life or something weird. Like some weirdo. It's just a weirdo. I'm telling you, it's just weirdos, right? But one thing I learned in life is figuring out how to navigate either around or through weirdos is super good. It's super easy, and it's part of filter who you mess with, and you gotta set your boundaries and all of that, and you just gotta don't be around certain places. You know what I mean? Like if weirdos are over there, don't go over there. You cannot be surprised that it smells like boo boo in a bathroom. You can't be surprised it smells like lasagna in an Italian restaurant, and you can't be surprised weird things are happening where weirdos are populating. You can't be surprised. You know what I mean? For a minute, we are not allowed to ask them to destroy a unit. Well, I mean, until I don't know. I'm just saying. So, you know, but I would say don't worry about AI. AI is not this big scary thing. People are the big scary thing. AI is just there. You have to put something into AI, and then it responds back, right? It's just going to give you back what you ask. But if you are weird about it, yeah, maybe you should be worried. So really, it's whatever you get back from AI, in my opinion, is a reflection of AI is just a reflection of whoever's using it. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as the companies that are running AI, in my opinion, I think they're doing a pretty good job on keeping the weird stuff out. You know what I'm saying? There are some ideas that you don't want to entertain. Now we know how to use it. You just treat it like a person. You know what I mean? You know how you're talking to somebody and you're trying to get your point across, right? And like I'm using this example. So you're trying to get your point across, but they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, oh, okay. So then you ask it a different way. And then it's like, I still don't understand. So then you add more words to the sentence. You add more descriptors to what you're saying, you know. Oh, I still don't get it. Okay, so then you take the words that you're using and you you tell them to the person in a more broken up fashion as to hope that they understand what you're trying to say. And if they still don't get what you're saying, then you just keep trying until they finally get what you're saying. That's it. That's how you talk to AI. And you just take it one step at a time. They're not doing a good job. No, I think they're doing fine. People are weird. I'm not finna hold the companies accountable. People are weird. If you saying AI could such and such and such to people's bodies, and and you hate it, that's not AI's fault. That's your fault, cuz AI didn't search for that. You searched for that. Is anything wrong with it? I can't be the one to answer that, but you searched for that. And if you didn't search for it, somebody did. That's why you know about it, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not tripping on AI. The AI bots in the Discord, they're filtered. You can't go in there and ask for certain pieces of content. It'll just not return it. But why does he who? You talking about the AI? Because medical reasons, right? You still have the medical industry that uses AI, right? It has to know. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this person's left ventricle. This person's where their heart is located. They've got a bladder infection or something, and we need to know where to whatever. You know what I mean? So not everything is for I'm going to say an immature reason. I'm going to use that word. Not everything is for like an immature reason or a nefarious reason. Let me put it that way. Not everything's for like a nefarious or one of them type of reasons. A lot of times it's actually for knowledge and research and for the right reason. But, a fork is used to feed, but you put a weirdo behind a fork, somebody's going to get stabbed in the neck at some point. Pretty sure people like driving to work. Well, we got a new TikTok trend. No, you know what I mean? So it's not the car's fault, I mean, if they used it, then it worked. So, I will say this. If your future is looking to like start a business or something like that, now is probably the time to start putting the pieces together, because what you used to have to spend a whole bunch of money for, via people, you don't really have to spend the money like that anymore. You can just, ask AI basically. Yeah, I'm not tripping. I was only talking about, I forgot why I started talking about AI, but I mean, I use it, not all the time, but I do use it, and I've been actually having my clients use it. They have to fill out paragraphs on their websites and whatnot, and they don't be having the time to write it. So I'm like, dude, just ask AI like it's a assistant. You know how people in Hollywood I need you to write this stat and have it on my desk by 3. They literally go in and say, hey, can you just write this thing based on this information? And then it'll just, bloop, and then just copy paste and send it to me. And I had one client, they were like, it sounds too robotic. I was like, okay, tell it to sound more human. And they said, awesome day today. Today, it's about to be something, something, something. I forgot what it was, but it did sound more human, funny enough. You know what I mean? So, because it's just words, and there's so many words online that it can pull from, from, you got to think, how many pages do you think exist online? Holy Jesus. If you just got the notes from a phone company, cuz that right there is enough to start one whole AI project just from notes. If you just went through a text message database, just the text message database in the phone company, right there, you have every language on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're thinking of starting a business sometime in the future, I would say now is probably a really good time to start thinking about putting the pieces together. That's what I did. That's what I'm doing. You know, I haven't used the images yet. I need to actually start doing that. No, 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 no. It's just you're the boss now. That's the difference. We have to learn to stop being workers and we have to learn to start being bosses. You have to think like you have to delegate. You ever heard that before? The term delegate, well, I'm sure you know what it means. So you just have to learn how to delegate. That's that's how you use AI. You know how you ask people to do stuff for you? That's all you're doing with AI. Now the picture one, I can't help you with that. Maybe Jasper, something like that, I don't know. But when it comes to words and documents, you can literally just ask an AI, ChatGPT, whoever you want to ask, it doesn't matter. I use ChatGPT personally. But you just go in there and be like, hey, blah 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 blah. Like you're asking an employee. Just ask it like you got an employee. That's why I'm saying if you're thinking of starting a business, you have an employee. You just don't realize it. Now, it doesn't know everything, but it knows a whole it does know a lot though. And some stuff it does get wrong, but it's a lot of stuff it gets right. It's like a 99.8% correct rate or something. It's right about a lot of stuff. It's not right about everything, but it is right about a lot of stuff. You know, video games I've noticed it's not the best with. Like stuff if it's not on the internet, it's gonna have a hard time finding it. Especially if it's new. Like Genshin came out in 2020, so it only has documentation from 2021. That's the latest document it has about Genshin. You know what I mean? So, but everything before that, it's got all that. You want the Konami code, it'll spit it out at you. Yes, there's way more good in AI than bad. But here's what you do so it doesn't freak you out and you can sleep at night. Just remember, man, it's not the AI that's bad, it's that bad people use AI. More good people use AI than bad people, but bad people are here too. So it is what it is. I was about to throw a fact at you that was going to actually trump everything I just said, but it's not. It's actually not the same. So I'll keep that to myself. I'll save that one for a different day. It's the humans. Yeah, it's just humans. Humans are humans. People will be people. That's it. People are people, and that's all that people can be. Everybody is both good. Everybody's good and everybody's bad. Everybody has bad tendencies. Everybody has good tendencies. I smoke cigarettes. You know, I can be short-tempered at times. You know what I mean? I can be impatient at times. I can be too patient at times. You know, I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Everybody got flaws. You know what I mean? Some people have flaws in areas that impact society more. Some people have flaws that impact society less. But at the end of the day, people are people. That's literally all it is. Hopefully, that makes it a lot easier to love thy neighbor and filter who you messing with. You know, because if they're just egregious about affecting society negatively, it's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna have to keep my distance from you. You tripping? You ever hear smoking around babies? What's wrong with you? Cussing at church and whatnot, tripping. Gang banging in the White House. Shout out to Snoop. He did not gang bang in the White House, by the way. But you know what I'm talking about. You know, but yeah, people are people. You know, so you can only expect people to be people. That's it. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, so coming home. So what do I mean by that on this stream? I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream. Coming home is it's got a bunch of different meanings. I need to come back to who I am and come back to me. Come back to the real, like what what the core of everything is. What's most important. I was talking to my partner earlier today. You know what I mean? And it's like he was kind of having the same kind of life revelation. It's not a midlife crisis. Midlife crisis is when you want to have babies and buy up the planet. But this is more of just like, you know, every now and again, it's good to sit and just kind of check in on yourself. You know what I mean? And just say, okay, it's like, am I actually focused on what's really important for my future? You know what I mean? It sounds like the name of a movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Should be should be that. That's coffee, by the way. So, um, yeah, no, I mean, coming home, maybe, dabbling back into Warframe, getting back in with the squad here in Warframe and building that back up to what its original design was going to be. Um, and then just getting away from moving too fast. You know what I'm saying? Because I jumped the gun, but that's because I misjudged a lot of plays. There were a lot of moving parts, and a lot of them didn't land where they were supposed to land, and stuff just kind of started. A lot of stuff fell on my plate. So it's like, hold on. So let me back up. Not back up, but let me reevaluate. So I got to reevaluate so I can get everything in my personal life moving in the right direction, right? And if I'm trying to impact somebody's life in a positive way, then I need to practice what I preach, basically. I can't just be out here just making all kind of random moves and not taking a sec to think about it, but then turn around and tell someone else to take a second think about it, right? So yeah, it's just like, okay, let me just take a step back, take a second, think about it, and I'm not talking about relationships or nothing. I'm talking about, like, like, uh, am I focused on my business enough? Am I focused on double precision enough? Am I focused enough? Am I wasting time? Am I not spending enough time with myself? Am I not spending enough time with my family? Am I blah 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 blah? So things like that. Is what I feel is important to me. Am I paying enough attention to that? Is the question I had to ask myself. you know, Such as my clients. Funny YouTube still has emojis during Corona nights. Heck of funny. That's one way to break it up. You feel me? But yeah, so if anybody's on their way to sleep, I do hope you guys get a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night's sleep. If anybody's sick in the bed, I hope you get some well-due rest. If anybody's having some up moments in their life, cherish those moments. Tell your family you love them. Tell your peoples you love them. Spend time with the people that love you back. Love the people that love you back. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Spend time with yourself. All those good things. And um, God, most importantly, you got to filter who you hang with. I've been saying that so much. God, that's probably the best advice I've ever given myself. Like, it truly is. And that's just because I know a lot of people and I interact with a lot of people. And I guess I'm magnetic. I don't know. But I feel like people gravitate to me. It's our morning. Word. What time is it where you are? But while you're answering that, yeah, I feel like I do attract people, which is a good thing. It's a good thing, so there's a high likelihood I'll attract a lot of good people. But with that wave of good people comes some interesting folk, and it's just making sure that it's a fine line between having the birds of a feather flock with you and ending up in an echo chamber, right? And it's kind of like you have to be that counterbalance. I know for me, I've been finding myself having to be this like weird counterbalance in my own echo chamber. You know, um, thankfully, thank God, I actually have a really good friend who helps keep that echo chamber from being an echo chamber, basically. Shout out to Spread Love on that. It says 8:47 a.m. Oh, snap. Shoot, okay. I see you, cuz. Well, shoot. I'm finna probably call it a night. I think that's enough streaming for tonight. I just had a lot on my mind, and I thought I'd just log it. You know, not sure if it's gonna help anybody. I hope it does, to some degree. But just something to think about. Hopefully I was able to kind of peel back a lot of the, at least remove a lot of the fear about some things, and hopefully kind of clarify or at least give a new outlook on people. You know, because the reason I'm saying that is I'm thinking about the whole AI conversation and how humans and people are people and whatnot, right? And who's that? It was interesting. Yeah, I hope it was. Yeah, and it's. I mean, I know there's certain names that we can't say on YouTube, such as Adolf. I'll say that. I'll say the first name, Adolf, right, and stuff like that. And I'm not. Trust me when I tell you right now, I'm not excusing or doing none of that. But what I am saying is that homie was just a person being a person, and then you have Mother Teresa, who was just a person being a person. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, it's up to you as a person to try and be the person that you aspire to be, right? What's hard for me to ask, it's easy for me to ask, but it's hard for me to ask because I don't know the reasoning behind why somebody wouldn't do what I'm about to ask. And that is whatever you aspire to be or whatever you do on your road to try to become what you aspire to be, just try to make sure that it's not at the detriment of your fellow man or woman. And I say woman like that because we're equal. But woman, make sure it's not at the detriment of your fellow human, and just try to be what you aspire to be. That's pretty much in a nutshell. Try to be what you aspire to be. Try to attain that life that you want without negatively impacting the next person. If you could do that, you should be happy. You should, because I was there. Yeah, I was there. Life happened. I made some bad decisions, and now I'm not there. Life happened, plus bad decisions, and I'm here. But when I was there, I there were a lot of happy components. I felt there was a point where I felt fulfilled at work. I was hitting my goals. I was moving forward. I was up and moving. I had a really good network. I could do what I want, when I want, how I want. And what's funny is what I wanted to do was good. So it was good, and then life happened, but there was a lot of moments of joy, not necessarily certain aspects. It wasn't really the greatest, but alcoholism and some other stuff, but when you remove the alcoholism and I look at just me and what was going on back then, yeah, there was a lot to smile about. There was, you know. Worked really hard and helped a lot of people, and it felt really good. Felt really good, So, yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be really nice. Just imagine this. Take this with you when you go to bed, right? Or throughout your day, right? Take this with you. Provided you have a deep love for whether it's your whole family or certain family members, or your kids, parents, whoever, or just loved ones, right? What would, what is the absolute, what's the bar? when it's too much that you would do for them? And then what would you not do for them? That is a good thing. Because if you love that person for real, there's nothing you wouldn't do good for them. It might be in your way, so that might be why you can't do it or won't do it. But if you can, if you had access to everything on the planet, what would you do for your loved one? Right? And when you think about it, think about how you feel. And there's two takeaways because there's always an argument where somebody could be doing good for selfish reasons and then they could be doing good for good reasons. The only selfish reason I could think of is if you're seeking social status. Right? I don't think it's necessarily wrong to do good by a person for self-healing. I don't think that, you know how like, okay, so in alcoholism or AA meetings and all that type of stuff, I probably shouldn't be talking about this with y'all if y'all young and not that, but they say to like clean out your soul, basically, you need to call everybody that you've wronged and apologize to them to help you, right? And that is considered a good thing by that entire community, right? So I don't know if doing right by somebody for personal healing is necessarily a bad thing. So with that being said, once again, think about your loved ones, and if you had access to everything on the planet, what would you do for them? How would you feel? Would you feel like you've completed your task on Earth? Connect that with this. What would it take to feel like you completed your task on Earth? What is the task? And whatever that is, try to do that. But do it for a loved one. Whatever the task is for your loved ones, do that. That would be what I would recommend. Whether it's a wife, a husband, kids, parents, whatever it is, that is what don't think about your enemy. I can't go to the grave until I get revenge or whatever. Not that. That's not the task. The task is your loved ones. That's the task. I need to finish college and make $1 million. Okay, finish college, make $1 million. I need to buy blah, 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 blah. It's not even about money, really. It's like I need to start a garden or whatever, or buy some property and start a dog park in the name of my dad or whatever. Whatever. Okay, do that. Do that. That's the purpose. That's your purpose. And then there's a global purpose outside the family. But it should still come from a place of good. What could you do? What if you had access to everything on the planet? What would you do to make this world a better place? The planet. The planet. The thought, this is what I think about before I'm going to sleep, by the way. If I had access to everything on the planet, what would I do to make this world a better place? And I'll tell you right now, I would get rid of drugs. Not medicinal drugs. I would get rid of street drugs. That'd be the first thing. Very first thing. Across the board. Boop. Every single country. All of them. Gone. Wine, maybe. That could stay. I'm not tripping on it. You know, Italian street is a cultural thing. But opioids, like drugs. Cannabis, whatever. I'm from California. They do what they do. But drugs, all of it. Gone. And the reason I say that is because there are two supporting arguments I have for this. One is most of the murders and I don't know if I'll say it's a fact, but this is just a life experience. This is just from life experience and stories and homies and whatnot when I was growing up. Most of the things that have happened on a hood level, street level, thug level, grimy level, Hell's Angels level, underworld, all of that. A lot of it comes from drug trades. Now, you have the mafia. Typically, they're not involved in drugs. We all know. I mean, we all know that at this point, right? But that's mafia. That's Sicily. That's some culture stuff. That's some we don't trust cops energy. That's a totally different thing. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about bath salt, zombies, Skid Row, homelessness, all the weird stuff that goes on in the country. That'd be the first thing. Now you have your one-offs, you got your outliers, you got all this weird stuff that goes on. I understand, but drugs is a controllable. That's a controllable at least, right? So I would get rid of that. That'd be the first thing. The second supporting one comes from a channel called Soft White Underbelly. I talk about this channel all the time. Homie films in California, and just about every single heart-wrenching video has drugs involved. And a lot of it. When I say a lot of it, I mean a lot of it. And it's not just that person. It's that person and like 20 other people involved in their story. Not all of them are involved in drugs, but there's drugs in the story. And if that's not enough, look into Freeway Ricky Ross. This was the crack epidemic that you hear people talk about. It's called the crack epidemic. Now, if that ain't enough of a reason to look at this that way, I'm not tripping on a war on drugs because that is an entirely different approach. I'm talking about getting rid of the science of it across the board. That if I had access to everything, you don't need drugs. I didn't need alcohol. You know what I mean? So, but just think about those two things. What would if you had access to everything on the planet? What would you do for your loved ones? And what would you do to make the world a better place? And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right here. Without further ado, this is CS from DWP. If you enjoyed yourself during the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, keep your wig screwed on tight. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, 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 tight. And yes, I am a Frost main. For real. For real, for real. And I will be hollering at y'all in the next piece of content. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all you guys. Love you guys dearly. Y'all take it easy and sweet dreams. Peace. Woo!